Hello guys, this is Tranquility Eden, and thank you for checking out this video. This is episode 3 of the Building with Tranquility series. In the end of the last episode, we had managed to make the circle using pillars on the end of fence foundations. In this episode, we're going to extend those pillars down to the ground and then extend out, moving into the tech. Enjoy.
Right, let's get on with this. So we've got our pillars, they're currently floating up on those ceilings. Our next job is going to be to extend them to the ground. That will allow us to remove the ceilings and everything inside. So to do that, I found that the corner pieces are fiddly to snap. And the best way to solve that is to remove first the pillar underneath and the ceiling above. Now, the fence foundation, the fence foundation will stay there because it's still snapped to that one below on the floor there. And then I can snap the pillar below it. Oops, where did that snap? Oh, that's a bit more. Take that back up. And try again. There you go. So we get snapped one below and down to the ground. It's only the corners that we should have trouble. All the others should snap quite easily below the suspended pillar. Here we are right at the corner. So once again, remove the pillar and remove the ceiling. I found if you don't remove the pillar and ceiling, then this pillar that we're trying to place ends up trying to snap to the ceiling, not to the pillar, and it gets really annoying and fiddly. So remove the pillar. Ceiling. Now, as I said in previous episode, I'm building all of this in wood first, just to set out my circle and to get everything at the right height. Pretty much everything I've built so far is going to be demolished. I'm just using wood because it's cheap. I like to use the stone ceilings because I find sometimes it's quite difficult to see the wooden fence foundations if I used wood ceilings. And thatch and fence foundations behave very oddly together. I can use that to my advantage at times, but otherwise it can become really irritating. So there we have our circle. They're all connected to the ground now, so I can remove all of the ceilings and the fence foundation. So I'm going to do that now. You have to be really careful here. It's easier in a way on official than on unofficial, because on unofficial I have the bad habit of using the kill command to get rid of structures I don't want. But more than once I've been caught out and ended up demolishing something that I really didn't want to demolish. It's happened many times, so I'm just going to take it easy and make sure I'm not demolishing anything that I don't want to. I think what I'll do is speed this up for you guys, so I'll come back once I've demolished all of the fence foundations, all of the internal pillars and ceilings. Right, I'm back Now, I advise you never remove this, not until the very end of the build, because all sorts of things can occur that would mean that one of these pillars gets demolished or damaged or something. And having this initial circle here is your sort of security feature. You can always come back and get pillars back that you wanted, that you've lost out on. So I'm going to leave those there. But we now have our circle all sticking up and all attached to the ground. So if I were to, I don't know if I can climb on top of this from here. Perfect. So if I place some ceilings on top, you can see the corners here meet neatly. So what I'm actually going to want to have is the next ceiling out. This one and this one are going to be the edges of my pool, because their corners are going to meet really neatly. So everything that's inside the ceilings I'm standing on and all these pillars is going to be the pool, the swimming pool that is going to be at the very centre of this build. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start extending out my my circle, and this is how you build a circular base, by just extending these pillars out, by snapping pillars out off in that direction and in all directions all the way around the build. Now I did want to check, and I do believe I brought with me a couple of foundations, and you can see that these snap to these pillars. They're at the right height to allow me to snap a foundation. That's useful because I'm going to have foundations help me to make this the bottom of the pool around which, because I'm going to have a ceiling above the pool, and I need to support that ceiling with foundations that are snapped to pillars. Right, so I'm happy that I can place my foundations below. That's fantastic. I've got the right height. You can sometimes play around with that height quite a bit before you can find the right one. So we're now moving into a point with the build that there's no real turning back, especially on official, because I'm going to be placing some tech, and I really don't want to have to to demolish any of this tech. This element, as everyone knows, is very hard to come by. So where's my tech pillars? There they are. Just going to take 60 initially. So that's one ring all the way around. I dump some of the stone, and some of this wood. There we go. So add a ring of these tech pillars all the way around. Oh, I'm going to need some metal to sit on top of the tech. Now, the height of a build is determined by the bottommost pillar, the pillar that's touching the ground. So you can have a tech pillar on the ground, and then have metal pillars on top of the tech pillar, and you will still get the 14 ceiling height provided by the tech foundations, because it's the tech touching the ground. Everything else above can be any material you want. So I'm just going to put that on my hotbar. There we go. Okay, so these are going to go snap to all the existing pillars, and they're going to move one pillar out. So I have to make sure that they're snapping to the correct pillar. There you go. You can quite easily, as you can see, get one. Let's see if I can find a snap point to show you what I mean. Where I'm snapping it to this pillar, not to this pillar. So you have to be careful. I found that it helps just to line up to make sure that you're actually snapping to the correct thing. So this is going to maintain our circle all the way around. You saw the snap point there. And I just broke away. So we need 16 pillars. All the way around. There we go, we've got our 16 pillars. Now I'm going to put a metal pillar on top of each of the tech ones. See the 2 snap points? That is interesting. I don't really want that. I think it's because yes, I know why. Okay, I'm going to have to probably go and get another metal pillar because I definitely don't want to mess this up. So what's happening here is there's 2 snap points because when I placed these pillars, in between the 2 pillars was the fence foundation, and the fence foundation has thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this inner ring of wood. Because you don't want to have lots of different snap points. It's going to cause you a lot of problems later on if you have lots of different snap points. Keeping all the ceilings flush and level with each other becomes a nightmare. So I'm quickly going to remove all of these. Remember, I still got my circle there in the middle just in case everything goes completely belly up. But now I've got those tech pillars on the outside. They are my new ring. Oh, I need to eat. Oh, you surprise, you can't eat underwater. I'll take these last few out and then get some food. Right, let's eat something. So we've got these, and now when we place these, there's only 1 snap point. Does it still stick above the water nicely? It does. Excellent. Right, let's get 1 on the top of each one. Annoyingly, I'm going to have to go and get 1 more pillar for my storage. Okay. Please. There we go. What I need. So that is going to be my pool, the edge of the pool. So I'm going to just quickly run and grab an extra pillar. I'm also going to grab some tech foundations. They're going to go where those wooden pillars were. They should clip. We'll have to have a look. I might try it out with some stone first. I've got 20 here, so I'm going to take those with me. And I'm going to need 1, but we'll take 7 just in case. Let's chop off this wood. It's metal. Okay. I'm just going to take some more ceilings with me. Around the edge of the pool, I'm going to have a metal ring. Do I have a metal ceiling? Yes, I do. load of these. I'm looking to carry. See if I can carry 32. Just carry 32. I can drop that. I can drop off these wooden pillars. I'm not going to need them for a while. So it's all about managing weight. This is why when I'm playing on official, the most important thing to upgrade for me is weight. It just becomes a nightmare otherwise. I might bring one of these teams across to carry stuff later on when I start doing the main building. The slowest part of any build for me is laying out foundations. It takes probably about 80% of the time it takes me to build anything is the foundations, because you need to get them right. Trying to fix a foundation problem later on is just a nightmare. So I'm just going to give myself, oops, there we go. You can see now the inner edge corners are all, oh, that's why I needed my last pillar. Damn you, angler. Usually try and keep an angler inside the build, inside the pool in the centre here. To do that, I'm first going to have to remove one of these top pillars. I think metal pillar. Make sure it's metal. Don't demolish the tech, please. I can't do that while sitting on top of the angler. I'll leave this angler in the middle. Come on, you can get over that tech, surely. Oh, have I completely marooned you now? No. So if you can follow me in. You come in here. This pillar too. Come on, you can do it. Come on, then you come. Yes. Still. Okay. Please put it back. Up you go. Now, that angler is going to be stuck in the middle of that pool for the remainder of the build, but it's going to light up the build from now on, which is useful. So there we go. That's going to be the swimming pool at the centre of the build. Now, you can see these gaps. Now, I like to create patterns in my floors of all of my builds. So these gaps I'm going to put, I could maybe go with, I think this one I'm going to stick with having a solid metal ring around the whole build, and then shift to a different material, probably stone after that. Now, back to foundations underneath. So currently there is 1, 2, and then one in the middle, 3 pillars to get to the middle, 4 and 5. So 5 pillars to go from one side of the circle to the other. Now, remember, I'm going to want a ceiling above this, and I've got to support that ceiling. So you can put a maximum of 2 ceilings away from a pillar to still provide support. So if I take it in one more from all the way around, that will just give me 2 ceilings, and I'll be able to close the top of the ceiling. So, but don't want a pillar, because this is my pool. This is where I'm going to use these tech foundations. And before I place the tech ones, I want to check whether I can get these to clip. And I can't, as you can see, which is more than a little bit annoying, as they won't clip.
What a cliffhanger to leave it on. To find out how I fix this problem and how the build progresses, join me in episode 4, which should be out in the next few days. Thank you for following along so far, and I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope to see you join us for the next video in the series. Until then, bye.